Why do I do this to myself? Why do I do this to myself? Hello everyone, it's me, Sarah, and today we are going to be outlining my writing week for Camp NaNoWriMo. Yes. It occurred to me at some point in the past couple of days that I suck at pantsing. I don't know why it just occurred to me, because I know I suck at pantsing, but it occurred to me that one of my main issues when I write is the pacing of the story, and events aren't where they're supposed to be. I can go off on tangents, I have too much crammed into one space instead of more spread out within the plot, and I sort of realised that if I was pantsing, this would be worse than it usually is if I attempt to outline. So I need to do something to rectify that issue. Now, I'm not allowed to outline my plot. I'm pantsing. I don't have a plot right now. I'm not allowed to think of one until April. But what I'm going to do, because I'm attempting to write 70k in 7 days, is sort of figure out the timing of everything, as in within the first 10,000 words I need to make sure that the hook is done, the inciting incident has occurred, that within 10 to 20,000 words, you know, these events have to happen. So if I can sort of work out an outline where within the plot I need to be on certain days, that should hopefully keep me, you know, in the right pace and not make the story seem as bad as it's going to be currently in my head, if you understand what I mean. So we're going to do that today. We're going to outline my writing week. Oh, things we do. I am going to be using Save the Cat. This is not the main page for Save the Cat. These are my notes on Save the Cat. I'm going to be using Save the Cat outlining method. Why do I do this to myself? Why do I do this? Save the Cat. Save the Cat Writes a Novel is a story structure. I've spoken about it a bit before when I tried it out for, was it Nephilim I was replotting, or was it Project Body Swap? Either way, it didn't really help me much. It helped me more with character and motivation than it did actual plot, because my issue with plot is that I can't write middle. I don't know what to put there. And while Save the Cat didn't help me think about what to include in the middle, it sort of helped me keep on track with pacing, with character motivations, and with the character arcs. So I'm going to use it now because it's the one I've got on hand, and it is, I suppose, for me, the easiest thing to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by calculating everything. So Save the Cat story structure is typically set out into 15 separate sections. I don't want to talk too much because I don't want to incorrectly write any of these numbers, which I could feel myself about to do. So there are 15 steps to the story structure. We have opening image, themed statement, setup, catalyst, debate, break into two, B story, fun and games, midpoint, bad guys close in, all is lost, dark night of the soul, break into three, finale, and final image. So they are the 15 steps of the novel. I'm going to split it up now into acts 1, 2 and 3. I don't know why I always do this. I just find it a lot easier to do so. Things usually tend to speed up in the latter half of the story, and midpoint is at number 9. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to calculate how many words need to be written for each of these sections here, using 70k, of course. So 70k, we'll start with the midpoint, and that's the easiest thing to do. That should be at around 35,000 words, should be the midpoint, because that is half of 70. This is going to get awkward now as I use my calculator. So okay. That is that. Oh my god, that does not work at all. We're gonna try and make it work as best we can. Right, so I think I've sort of worked it out. We have 7 different days. I have 15 set to spread over those 7 days. It's so difficult because sometimes I have to start a certain section on one day, or make sure I start this section on one day and then finish the rest of it, and one day I'll have to do like 5 sections, and on another day I'll have to do just like 1. It's really difficult to sort of work it out, especially because for the big sections, for Fun and Games and Bad Guys Close In, there's multiple events that have to happen within those 10,000 words, and it's going to be thinking of what they are. So I'll write it all out here. There we go. We have the numbers that correspond to the Save the Cat beats. We have the percentage that they should be occurring within the novel, and then the word count here in which that needs to happen. And then I've sort of split it up here in between the 7 days, and then sort of done it as well down here where I've got on day 1 I need to reach 5. I need to start the debate part of the Save the Cat beat. On day 2 I need to do 5, 6 and 7, but start B story, which is 7, and finish B story on day 3, in which I'll almost reach it's gonna be confusing, and I'm gonna have to it's not gonna help because I don't know what all of these events are gonna be until I write them, and maybe plan a little bit ahead as I go. But as long as I hit the midpoint on day 4, I suppose, is all I can really hope for. I'll definitely have to make a note of what entails in debate to make sure that's sort of what's going on in the story. Now it's just time to put it in the bullet journal. So awkward trying to record on this. So this is my outlining my writing week, so I sort of know what I need to do in each section. So I need to split this into 7, much like I did with my Camp NaNoWriMo tracker here. So all I'm going to do is sort of mark off where I split the pages here, and then it should be visible on that side. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it doesn't work. It doesn't work because I've got the title all the way across the top of the page. Never mind. Never mind. Can't do that. Do something else. It occurs to me that I'm making this more difficult than I should be doing. Like, I don't want to have to, I'm not going to have to pay attention to what I'm writing as opposed to how much I'm writing, which isn't going to end well. I'm gonna freak myself out now, trying to make sure that I get up to debate in the first page, in the first day, and starting B story by day 2, and it's just going to make me anxious. But it needs to happen, so tough. Sarah, tough it out, because past feelings aren't important. This is for future you. Future you cares. Future you does not want so much work, so please make it work for future you. Past me, you never suffer. Suffer now, so future you cannot suffer in the future. I don't know. I think I figured it out. I have got everything I need for each day. I'll have to save the cat somewhere near me so I can make sure that what I'm writing for B story, what I'm writing for break into 2 is actually happening on the right days, so I'm writing the right things, I should say. I've also decided on my genre, based on Save the Cat. I'm going to call it an institutionalized novel. It was very difficult to figure out which one it should be, obviously because I don't have a plot, but based on the basic plot of a fairy discovers she's a human and leaves in search of her fairy counterpart. That's the easiest and the most, you know, one that makes sense. There's a group, there's a choice that the protagonist has to make, and there's a sacrifice. Will she join the fairies? Will she burn the fairies? Will she escape the fairies? Okay, so that, institutionalized. So that will also help me out a little bit, so I know what to include story-wise and narrative-wise if I ever find myself struggling a little bit. So that's okay. I'm getting nervous now. Let's pretend it's not an entirely different day and that I'm not in my pajamas and that my hair is not a mess. Okay? Good. Why am I like this? I'm social distancing. I have the kids home all the time. I have no sense of time or space at the moment. So while we were gone, which has been a good 6 days since I last filmed the previous parts of this video, because I'm terrible, we have we've added to what I need to do. So I have added this page in my book, Save the Cat. I'm obsessed with these cat stickers, and no, you can't stop me. I've added all of the beats here so I know what entails with the beats if it stops being blurry. So 15 beats, that is what sort of needs to happen with each of them within the novel, so I know what I'm doing. And then ignoring the shadow, if I can turn the page, more cats. This is my writing week all set out and ready to go. I think the one issue that I know I'm going to have is the fact that Save the Cat is very character driven with its beats and relies a lot on the character's motivation, their flaws and everything that happens in it. I don't have any of that. I have no characters, I have no flaws, I have no motivations, I have no goals for them. So it's really going to have to be, I'm really going to have to focus so much on trying to make sure that I give my character a motivation or a primary goal straight away, that I give them a flaw that they need to overcome straight away, because that's just going to help so much when I write the rest of the novel, and it's going to be so helpful to not have to worry about that come revision if it's already sort of set out when I begin. So I don't want to go as far as to plan that. What I might do is look at the, where is it? The Save the Cat life lessons, and maybe pick from there before I start, so I sort of have a jumping off point. We'll see how I feel. I might do that actually though, just so I can sort of, I know where I'm going. So I'm not planning at all, no, I'm pantsing. I'm planning to pants. That is planning to pants. So that is all me and my writing week. Hopefully it will help me set up for Camp NaNoWriMo. Let me know what you're doing to prep and plan for April, and I will see you in my next video. Good thoughts and happy writing.